Hello everybody, this is a little video about difficulty settings in BattleBrothers. So they've got stars for the campaigns, for how difficult they're meant to be. Peasant Militias are very easy, it does have a 1-star. Gladiators has got a 3-star, which to me makes no sense because Gladiators start with like 3 god tier bros. Maybe like it's not good if you're a beginner, but like once you can manage the pay, they're just insane. You just get like 3 incredible bros, including like a Battleforge tank guaranteed. I guess they only have 12. They only have a max of 12 roster, and if all 3 die, your campaign ends. But like that never happens. So the 12 men in your roster, that is a bit of a limitation, to be fair, but not much of a one. So I find that weird that it's 3 because it feels like the strongest to me. I guess apart from Peasant Militia. So Peasant Militia is probably the easiest one. Hardest is probably Beast Slayers because they get... Oh, well, no, actually. They really struggle with the money. But Cultist is just a weird one where like all your guys die and stuff. And it's just super annoying. So I don't really like... I wouldn't recommend playing Cultist because it's just weird. And New Company is fine. Then from the settings, the late game crisis, I always do random. Just because it's interesting. Nobles at War is maybe the easiest one because there's loads of northern armies to fight. You can choose with any side, and you can choose to side with the ones that have the most convenient place to hire bros or buy tools or sell things or whatever. So you've got a lot more freedom in who you can side with, and there's loads of armies roaming around to get loads of loot from. The Greenskin Invasion is mostly the hardest because you can beat orcs and you can beat goblins, but having to fight them both at the same time is just a lot harder, right? Like having to fight, squishy ranged things and having to fight big combat things. You need different team composition essentially and different tactics. So when they've got combined arms, it does get harder. The undead is pretty easy because undead aren't really a threat at all. I guess you could have a necromancer possessing a tomb guard, whatever they're called, but not realistically. Realistically, undead are really easy fights. So undead scourge is a pretty easy one, but you don't get the loot that you get in Nobles at War. And then Holy War is kind of sometimes easier than Nobles at War, right? Because you can side with the south, and then you're getting easier combats. But then it's a bit more awkward siding with the south rather than just choosing which one at Nobles at War. And then if you side with the northern versus the south, then that becomes very difficult indeed because the southern armies are ridiculously strong. So this could be probably harder than Greenskin Invasion, but realistically Nobles at War is the easiest one because you just get loads of loot. But yeah, I always just do random. Then we've got these different settings here. Ironman for me doesn't matter because I only don't do Ironman for when I'm making YouTube videos when I've got an idea or when I test something or something. I'm not actually reloading. I'm not save scumming because a bro died, right? I've never done that. Never would. But if you want to, that's fine. No judgment. It is obviously easier if you choose to do that. What you can do is what I'm going to do in this run is I'm going to not use Ironman. First of all, it means you can have duplicate saves in case something goes wrong. There's currently a bug with direwolves that direwolves can become unkillable if they would have dropped a tooth or something. So people are getting into fights with direwolves and they just can't win and stuff. So I'm going to use that to avoid any new bugs. It's good. And also the new fight, there's the new legendary location, so I can save before that and then try a few different tactics out, see what it's all about, see how early you can do it. No idea how early you can do the new legendary location, so I want to test to see the limits of that. But normally I don't like testing the limits of anything because I just want to take fights I know I can win, and that's the easiest way to play the game. Now you've got 3 difficulties here. Economic difficulty, obviously beginner is the easiest and expert is the hardest. Starting funds, high is the easiest and low is the hardest. So I just go economic, expert and starting funds low. Now combat difficulty is a weird one. It's a very weird one because with beginner it's easier, you get a hit chance and stuff and they get a penalty, but you fight worse opponents, which means you don't get to loot as good armor, right? If you're only fighting thugs, you're not getting raider armor. So actually, the expert difficulty, you if you can play it, like, you know, if you lose on veteran or beginner, you shouldn't play on expert. But if you don't lose on expert, then expert with beginner and high funds is like easier than veteran medium and stuff. As long as you can handle the game, the economic difficulty becomes the actual difficulty rather than the combat difficulty. So there you go. And then map seed, I always do a random seed. You can use a farm seed for some things, like obviously if you do speed runs, you want to use a specific seed so you know where all the famed items are, etc. I did use a particular map seed for my cultist run because I wanted a comfortable map, because I knew I was going to do like over 1,000 days just for fun. So like if you're going to play like a map for a long time, you probably want it like convenient. And then you can do an explored map. That kind of makes it a tiny bit more difficult, but not really, honestly. It mostly just makes it annoying because it means you've got to walk around really slow so you don't get ambushed as much. And that's all it is. You can get into like the odd situation where, you know, you wander around and you don't find anything, but you can just follow roads and if you follow roads, you find settlements. So it's really, some people do it. I just don't think it adds anything. I just find that I go slower to not get ambushed, and I don't want to go slow. I want to have quicker on, and I want to go, you know, 4 speed all the time. So yeah, there you go. There's the difficulty settings. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.